That's where this is stacked.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight is Monday, July 15th, 2019. This is the Town of Halifax Finance Committee at 7 p.m. We're being recorded by Area 58. On tonight's agenda, reserve fund and line item transfer requests, discussion of the secretary position, public participation, and email and correspondence before adjournment. We'll also, under as may arise, handle really quickly calendar for the rest of the summer and the beginning of the early fall. So first off, we have some reserve fund transfers and some line item transfers. Thank you, Sandy, for making up the sheet. So right now, let's handle reserve fund transfers first. The current balance in the reserve fund account is $20,957.91. So that's $20,957.91. We have a request for $20,957.91 to be transferred to group insurance. The amount requested will be paying FY19 health, dental, and life insurance bills. This expenditure is extraordinary and unforeseen for the following reasons. We could not predict the exceptional number of new health and dental plans that came on this year.
That's the entire amount, the reserve fund?
Cleaning it up.
Yeah. The new reserve fund account will start with a new fiscal year.
Has already started.
Yeah, that's right. What's today? So I'll entertain a motion to approve, and then we can ask any questions or discuss.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Okay, any questions for Sandy or Charlie?
Where is this being transferred into again?
Group insurance.
We've been taking
We've been
everything.
taking money out of group insurance?
That was the account that we, after closer examination, we found that we did not have the money that we got earlier. So,
Ran the numbers again, made sure the calculations were right or wrong. And
I'm sorry, I'm not catching it.
We ran the numbers again on the health insurance account
Yeah.
and made sure the calculations were correct or not. And we had a couple of errors in there and we needed to put money in rather than out.
right.
But this is the account we've been taking money out of.
Yeah, we didn't take too much out, but yes, so we had, that's why you have some of these are duplicates, because we caught it before the selectmen's meeting last week. So we took those back, redid those line item transfers,
So
that they did not take it out of the group insurance.
But you'll find when we get to the line item transfers, we're also taking money from several other line items to put back into health insurance. As Linda read, we had much higher usage on our health insurance, not in the sense of expenses or claims, but just the number of people joining the program for whatever reason. And
No, it's just the process.
Yeah.
I'm not questioning why you need the money. It's just, we were taking it out and now you're putting it back, and
Yeah, we
I'm
had,
just trying to understand why.
Yeah.
we just, some of the math didn't come out the way we thought it was coming out.
Right.
Hi, Bill.
Hello. We just started a reserve fund transfer, so it's to wipe out what's left in the reserve fund from the last fiscal year and to put it into the group insurance account. And Sandy and Troy were just saying that we've had a lot of new enrollees in those insurance plans this year. So this is it. This is the reserve fund balance, and this is the reserve fund transfer request that would take care of the remaining balance in here, and we'll put it into group insurance. We had been drawing from group insurance last week, so we're going to redo some of those line item transfers to not do that and to make sure that that account is fully funded. So that's why we have a stack of the line item transfers, but this is the reserve fund transfer request.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You sign first. There we go. No, it's good.
Thank you. Here you go.
people wondering what the noise is, that's the Toe Jam puppet band across the street at the amphitheater. So it's a library sponsored program. It's legit, despite all the noise, but the cultural council also had provided money for that.
Oh.
So it's a big crowd attendance.
So it looks like we've got 4 line item transfers from snow and ice to law. I'm just gonna try to cluster them. Does that sound?
I'll do the math.
Thank you. I don't see any other ones. All right, so it's gonna be, so these are 4 line item transfers. We'll group them because they're going from the same account into the same account. They're going from snow and ice into law. So the first amount is $240. Then $1,125.36. Then $2,431.25. Then $3,192. 698861.
698861.
Thank you. Okay. So I'll entertain a motion for the line item transfer, the collection of the 4 of them, in the amount of $6,988.61 from snow and ice into law. The reason for the deficit in this account is additional litigation, grievances, and expenses.
So moved.
Second.
Moved in second. Any further discussion or questions? Charlie, what happens if we don't pay the bill?
We get another one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get
Just wanna
somebody
ask.
nailing something to the town hall door.
Just want to ask. Any other discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They separate bills, so I have to do separate requests.
No, actually, what we did was, we're getting them from different accounts.
Not those
Oh, the
ones.
lot ones, yeah, so
Yeah.
that was a different list. So, you're right.
I think you could have clustered them, but they came in separately at different
And it was
times.
just easier.
Yeah,
On my end, keeping track that we still were getting paid.
Yeah, because the original request had like the bill date on them. Thank you.
More grouping.
No. No, these are all individual, unfortunately. Cool. The next line item transfer is request for the amount of $2,405.41 from snow and ice to stormwater. There are fewer storms, which is the overage for snow and ice, and under stormwater, it's the last of the bills for FY 2019 of the project. It's going to be a line item in FY 2020, which we talked about at annual town meeting. So again, it's $2,405.41 from snow and ice to stormwater. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next one is a transfer for $1,811.05 from grants writing The overage due to no grants are being written. 2, account law. The reason for the deficit is the additional litigation and expenses. So again, for $1,811.05 from grants writing into law. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any further questions or discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Next one is for $5,000 from property surveying. No property surveys are being conducted. 2, the account law. The reason for the deficit is the same as before. So again, $5,000 from property surveying into the law account. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further discussion or questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Please transfer the amount of $3,342.95 from the account snow and ice to the account town share Medicare. The reason for this is greater payroll and Medicare deductions than expected. So again, it's $3,342.95 from snow and ice into town share Medicare. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Please transfer the amount of $280.90 from snow and ice into highway expense. The reason for this is unanticipated expenses. $280.90. Is this because of the street light fixing?
No, that was under traffic lights.
Oh.
This is under highway expense.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. It just says unanticipated expenses.
yeah, I'm not sure what it was.
Okay. So again, it's $280.90 from snow and ice into highway expense. And this would bring it to a zero balance. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions?
I mean, it's not that much, but
I know.
Should give a reason.
Yeah.
Put a little
Actually,
something on
what
there.
happened, last year they encumbered money for their expenses for supplies. They didn't end up, whether they returned what they got or whatever, they didn't end up using that money. But they
Oh.
used it this year. They cannot use it for anything except what it was encumbered for. So this is making up the balance.
Okay. Yeah, maybe just moving forward.
They have to be a little more.
Yeah, even just like couple words would be helpful. All right. Any further questions? All those in favor? Aye.
A lot of these this year.
Yeah, right.
Well, we doing all the ones from last week.
Yeah, remember, like, we're not gonna do this many next week.
Yeah, because you did a big group of them last week. 'cause
Yeah.
They all came out of one.
Yeah. We were too arrogant. That was the problem. We spoke too soon. Thank you. Transfer for the amount of $793.90 from tax title to the account treasurer collector clerical. The reason for the projected deficit is the transfer for continuing disclosure overdrew the account.
Say that again.
The transfer for continuing disclosure overdrew the
Right,
account.
so there were expenses, so we do what's called a continuing disclosure each year with our bonding companies. However, they charge us for that, and when it was too late in the budget cycle for fiscal 19 to include an amount for that, we just, and so.
They
that's
took
what-
it, they did a transfer earlier from their wages into their expense to pay the continuing disclosure. But then they ended up having not as much in their wages as they needed.
Okay.
So I believe for fiscal 20, they included,
Yeah.
yeah, so for fiscal 20, because we do this on an annual basis, that cost is now in the treasurer's expense, so I mean, something else may happen, but we won't be having to go through this again.
Okay. Thank you. I'll entertain a motion to approve the amount of $793.90.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Stop coming. It's not gonna change.
This one looks like this one's a redo. The transfer for $45,301.46 from fire wages to group insurance. Is that one a redo that we did last week?
This
is a new?
That's the capital group insurance deficit.
Oh, okay. So $45,301.46 from fire wages to group insurance.
45,000.
You're in that much extra,
Oh, yeah, we had.
and your group insurance was that much short.
Yeah.
Because the fire didn't use as much overtime this year, right? That was
Right,
the
because of the no
yeah.
snowstorms, no overtime.
yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor? Aye.
So just for the record, the motion to move was to recommend.
Next year when we do the budget, remember that $45,000 in wages.
No. They're gonna blame it on the snow. Well, let's get back to your next thing.
You don't know
Yeah.
how much overtime they're gonna have to put in,
Yeah.
so you have to have it in there.
Because I'll be willing to bet 2 or 3 years ago, they were looking for more money for wages.
And they
And
changed
snow.
the staffing scheme too.
I think they lost some tenure guys in there.
Yeah.
I thought that's what happened.
Please transfer the amount of $20,000 from gas and oil to group insurance. Same reason as before, to replenish the group insurance account. So again, this is $20,000 from gas and oil to group insurance. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions?
So I know we poached a little bit from that group insurance before, but what are we at, like 85 now? Right, because we had 2 for 20 and 1 for 45.
There's a couple more.
Yeah.
At the special town meeting, we needed to put money in. So it should have piqued my interest at that time, and I didn't follow it. So this is, but we caught it, and we're fixing it.
Any other? So I'll entertain a motion to approve $20,000 from gas and oil to group insurance.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
I think we did it
I
already.
think we did
that's
too.
all right.
Yeah.
Did it twice.
Sorry.
As long as they know it's not 40,000.
Yeah.
Mm.
For clicking the submit button
Not
twice.
yet, right?
It's gonna get close. Transfer for the amount of $10,000 from heating and oil all to group insurance for the same reason. So this is $10,000 from heating and oil all to group insurance. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Thank you. Transfer the amount of $9,930.85 from veterans benefits to group insurance. Same reason as before, we picked up new healthcare plans and dental plans for this year. So $9,930.85 from veterans benefits to group insurance. And again, the veterans benefits is not, it's our smaller share of what we get funded from the state. So this is not in any way compromising the veterans benefits that we owe out.
No, because this is the, we've already paid out all the benefits.
Yeah.
And we're starting on the next year's. So that was just money that would have gone back into it.
Just to clarify. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Transfer $1,000 from general insurance to securing buildings. The reason for this deficit is continued cost for the 407 South Street foreclosed property. So again, $1,000 from general insurance, which is not the same account we've been talking about, to the account securing buildings.
Because we have been using that account to pay for maintenance at 407 South Street when properties were foreclosed. We're still dealing with a rat or mouse problem, so periodically we have to have pest control folks go out there.
Mhm.
All this will eventually get added to the bill if we foreclose on the property, if we sell the property, the minimum price is gonna factor all this in. If the folks redeem it, instead, they'll still have to pay everything, including these expenses.
Okay.
So one way or the other, we should be getting back our money. But it's either that, do that now, so put the $1,000 in the account, or come back to you every few weeks and get a reserve fund
Yeah.
transfer.
I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
So that's our last line item transfer of the year.
Do you cover this?
Yeah, I was gonna have you do it since I'm on the board.
Just this one?
Yeah. Thank you.
This is just to approve the budget for next year?
It's just their, every town pays dues.
Okay.
So the next item is going to be, paying out a bill from our own finance committee expenses to the Association of Town Finance Committees, and since I'm on the ATFC, I will have Bill handle this.
Good luck, Phil.
Add on to what she said is $180 due for the Association of Town Finance Committees for fiscal year 2020. Again, these are dues. I'll entertain a motion to recommend.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor? Or any questions? All those in favor? Aye.
I'll abstain.
No.
So you sign,
Up at the top here.
yeah. Yep.
So the other major item is the discussion of the secretary position. So last week, even though we did have 4 of us here, we didn't want to vote on it without you here, Lynn. So we met with everybody. We conducted the 4
We had a
interviews.
tie anyways.
Huh?
We had a tie, so,
Really?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think so.
You guys gonna reenact the interview?
The preamble is that all 4 candidates were great.
They were all good.
We as 4 of us, like 2 of them especially, but we were having a hard time who would come out first. And 2 of us thought one person edged out and the other 2. And it was sort of 2 sides of the same coin. So just to rehash quickly, we talked to Tara, Linda, Kristen, and Kathleen.
Susan.
Or no, Susan,
Susan.
not Kathleen. So Linda and Kristen were the 2 that had prior municipal experience or current municipal experience. Linda is currently an employee for the town of Halifax. Kristen works in another town for the school committee or in the school office, but had been in the first selectman's office before. Basically, we just asked the same questions we've asked previously. So that we're sort of coming down to, is it better to have someone with some inside knowledge of the town and town politics, or someone who's a little bit more removed from it but still has the municipal experience? And we think they're both, like we said before, 4 people, great qualifications. These 2 we thought were especially well qualified. We were just having a hard time figuring that out. So we wanted to have the discussion amongst the 5 of us.
Now, Linda is, of course, been a subject of the wage and personnel for the last couple of years. So if that subject comes up again, how comfortable are we gonna be discussing that position in front of her because she's the secretary?
It's a valid concern.
The other concern I have is, well, the other woman has the experience of sitting in meetings, taking the minutes, knowing how to transcribe, doing all of that.
Yep.
And a plus in my mind is actually she doesn't have that Halifax connection.
That is my concern. It's like,
She's gonna sit there objectively writing what's being said with no interest, you know. I mean, we're sitting on a committee, we have interest because obviously we're taxpayers. You know, after a while you all get to know these people. I'm just barely learning them, but you get to know them. But if you get to know them as a member of the finance committee, I think that's a little different than knowing them day to day, them coming into your office for various and sundry reasons.
like if we were to say, oh, we're gonna decrease the treasurer's budget by 5%, I guarantee who's gonna hear about that? Immediately, because she's gonna tell her.
You know, it's public
Well,
information.
yeah.
Yes, it is, but I mean, okay, how about executive sessions? Do we have the secretary? Then you're talking about information that was presented in executive session, you're telling me that's not gonna get back to the town employees because she's a town employee.
The only time
Well,
we
we
go
did
into
have-
executive is for collective bargaining agreements.
We did have a town employee sit in the position before, but what was the other side of the argument for?
Basically, sort of the working knowledge of what different, I mean, Linda has a lot of experience. She hasn't just been here for a little bit, she's been here for years. And we're sort of saying, like, sort of hitting the ground running in terms of understanding, like, who to contact, who to reach out to in different departments. There wouldn't be as much need for sort of training on the ins and outs of the job. It'd be more of, you know, here's what's a little different about the finance committee than other committees, but it wouldn't be like, here's the computer system, here's the, you know, everything from scratch as we would for anyone who's coming into this particular organization brand new. So in my mind, is it a benefit or a hindrance, I guess, and let's use that word, to have someone with so much inside knowledge? And I'm having a hard time because I do see both sides to it, right?
I can, but I guess another concern is because she has that knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Is she gonna be able to just sit there and take notes?
Well, ultimately,
The committee gets to voice opinions.
yeah.
Is she gonna be able to take notes, or is she gonna constantly have to go, I need to go sit in the audience? You know,
Was she, I don't know, or was she here last year during any of the discussions?
No, but the wage and personnel committee meetings are open, so a lot of
No,
employees.
not even wages, finance. Did she come to
I
any
don't-
of the finance meetings?
Did anybody come to?
Well, that was my question. I mean, if she didn't come last year, what about you, Bill? I've heard from everybody but Bill.
I thought she might have. She was sitting over on that side.
She
once,
probably-
I think, but don't quote me on that.
Everybody came the night we talked about the wage and personnel recommendation. So yeah, I think you're probably right.
When I'm going through a ton of interviews or resumes
Mhm.
to bring someone in an interview, we look for someone that has industry experience. And even if it's for our competition, because of the benefits that come along with it. So I wouldn't rule her out because she's dedicated most of her career to Halifax. I'd almost want to, reward that to some extent, in my mind.
Any?
Just a little bit of input
Yeah.
when Fred was talking about an executive session. She currently holds one of the positions in the town that deals with the most confidential information. She does not, she has the trust of the town and the employees and everything else because she's very good at that. So,
As assistant treasurer, she's handling all the personnel records, the health records, basically information that, someone came in just on a normal public records request. There's lots of things she can simply say, no, you don't get that information. For instance, every once in a while, someone wants to know if someone's on health insurance. The answer is no, you don't get that information.
Yeah.
We can tell you in gross terms
Yeah.
how many people are on the various plans, but we don't tell you who is for that, or somebody goes, oh, I want to see how much, somebody gets their deductions or something.
Yeah.
No, sorry.
Yeah.
There's lots of personal information, and she understands that that's not information that she's to give out to anybody.
I think one of the things that was helpful doing all the reclassification stuff was to ask the question of like, if this person were to do something terrible in their job, what's the worst thing that could happen? And I think because although we are a committee that gets our own secretary, ours isn't approving permits. Ours isn't working with third-party actors like attorneys or, contractors or anything like that. So the worst thing our secretary could do is give us the wrong reserve fund balance. I'm not saying this sounds sarcastic, but I'm like really, so like what's the biggest impact that someone who is doing something nefarious in the position could do? And it really would be like not scheduling stuff or confidentiality violations.
I'm not worried about all that. I look at two
Yeah.
people. What's the primary responsibility of this job?
Yeah.
Taking minutes.
Yeah, and scheduling.
One has
and stuff.
experience taking minutes, one does not.
I also don't want it to come back and bite her if she takes up this position. And we're trying to make the argument that her responsibilities are such that she needs to have this salary. The public's gonna come back and say, well, she's working a part-time
Well,
job.
that's my first gut reaction, but the more I think about it, if I was in her shoes and
Right, I
someone on the
understand.
board said, well, her job should be this,
Right,
it's not like she's been pushing for it, and just because there's a couple of people that are sour about that fact, I wouldn't want to be punished for it. I'd be pretty pissed if I'm getting denied a fair opportunity because somebody took offense to what a board said without my input.
I'm
in the
not,
first place.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it, I'm just saying,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be out there.
I don't know if that bothers me. I almost invite it.
Your call.
Yeah, I think I'd vote for her, to be honest, just because of the proximity and the years.
I think what's tilting me more in the direction is like after this conversation of thinking like if because of the existing confidentiality requirements and because of what our secretary position entails, there's not really the room for doing something that we all would have to catch, right? We'd all have to catch meeting minute problems. We'd all have to catch.
Well, again, I don't have a problem with Linda, but I'm not gonna
Yeah.
sit here and have a discussion about her salary as an assistant treasurer when she's a secretary. I won't do it.
It's like I said, it's public knowledge anyway. I mean,
But again,
we
I
have
have to
talk
sit
about
here,
Charlie's, we have to talk
right,
about
but
the
if
chiefs.
she wants to come, that's fine. But, I don't know.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. But I will tell you that
So you have no problem sitting here having a discussion, you say, and let's say your opinion is she doesn't deserve the raise. You're gonna have no problem
Well-
saying it right to her face
well-
while she's sitting there at the table.
No, I have no problem with that whatsoever.
Wait.
The finance committee doesn't deal with individual areas.
No, it goes back to the wage and personnel. We
Right.
decided we didn't
Well-
want to do that. So that's all I'm saying, Charlie.
No.
It's like, I'm not sure I'm comfortable sitting in the room deciding a particular position when the person's right there. Because then I don't feel I can be as open as I want
So
to
you're
be.
talking about grade change?
Yes,
Okay, sorry. Just
that's all I'm talking about.
confusion on my part.
No, it doesn't bother me.
Doesn't bother
Okay.
me either.
I think we do it a lot, and I completely get why it's cringy. But we did it at town meeting.
There was, I always get this guy, Steve,
Yeah,
and then we had to pull it back,
Right.
right?
yeah.
There were a few discussions when Kendra was the secretary regarding her conservation position.
Right.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? Okay, so as it stands right now, we're down to Kristen and Linda. We're not gonna take a recommending vote, let's just do a straw poll. Who would be in favor of us offering the secretary position to Kristen? Okay. Who would be in favor of us offering the secretary position to Linda? Do we want to have any other conversations about this before we actually take a vote? Mind you, we're extending the offer. It doesn't mean that person will accept or not. Okay. So why don't we do this? We'll make a recommendation for a first choice offer and a backup recommendation for a second choice offer, so we don't have to have another meeting in case the first choice offer rejects. Is that legitimate? Okay. So I'll entertain a motion to extend the offer to Linda Cole first for the secretary of the finance committee.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? All those abstaining? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to recommend extending the offer to Kristen Lavangi should the previous offeree, thank you, rejects the position.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and second. Any further questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any opposed or abstentions? Okay. I forget how we do this. Do I do it? Do I make the call?
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
Sorry.
Who makes the call?
We're gonna extend the offer to Linda first, and we already took a vote that if she declines, we're gonna offer it to Kristen.
I'll see her tomorrow morning, I'm happy to,
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
can you drop her a line right now, not to her personal email?
Yeah. Yep. Whatever's easiest. Okay. The only other thing we'll have on tap then is just a quick calendar look. Because we have no other correspondence. Any public participation?
You know, I never checked your mailbox,
I
so. Talk about the calendar.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I usually do, and I'm like, I saw the paper here, and I'm like, that's got to be it. Thank you, Sandy. So September 2nd is Labor Day. Charlie, do you think we're going to be having a special in like late September, October-ish?
No, it won't be in September.
Okay.
The reason is that the way, since the planning board still hasn't declared when the public hearing is, and they have 90 days combined
Oh, right.
to have a hearing and then make a recommendation. That places the earliest date I could do anything on as September 20th approximately, which the Monday after that, September 23rd. And the thing is that, if we have any appropriation articles, it won't matter at that point because tax bills need to go out on October 1st. So if we have a meeting on the 23rd,
Yeah.
that's too late because we'll set the tax rate aside earlier in September. We may have appropriation articles, but we'll have to deal with them prior to the stabilization fund.
Yeah.
Free cash will be certified by then and never, not in September.
Thank you.
So My guess is gonna be early October, the 30th is out,
Yeah.
there's a conflict there, so it's,
Yeah.
maybe the first Monday in October?
So we can conceivably stick to second and fourth Monday, which would be September 9th and 23rd. It, unless you think there's gonna be something popping up before then.
Not this, if there is, I mean, you're always free in August to still have a meeting. I mean, Sandy and I will keep you apprised of anything that comes in, but
Yeah.
right now, we're not aware of anything that.
Okay.
I
Alright,
think there are a few things we're going to be monitoring a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think things are going to be a little bit closer fiscal 20 than they were the last couple of years.
Okay.
And, you know, things like the health insurance, as an example, we're going to have to be a little bit more careful keeping track of. The other thing is, I wrote Sandy at the end of the week, I was looking at the state revenue numbers on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
They're still good overall, in
Yeah.
the sense of from June to June,
Uh-huh.
they look good. For the 12 months, things have slowed down during the last 6 months from January to June.
Okay.
And that doesn't show up in the income tax totals, but it shows up in the withholdings, which is what I really follow, because the total, you know, special payments and refunds, everything, it tends to go all over the place.
Okay.
That slowed down. Also, motor vehicle sales, in terms of the sales tax on motor vehicles that was collected, has slowed down.
Okay.
So it's not that it's in reversal, the numbers are dropping, but for the year, it was, the various categories were, let's say, between 3% and 6%. For the last 6 months, it was more like 1.5% to 2%,
Okay.
or on an annual basis. Not just, so, we'll keep watching it.
Okay.
But I think, you know, it doesn't change, it doesn't do anything to us right now, but I think we'll just keep a better eye, or an eye, not sorry, a better eye, but pay a
Okay.
little more attention.
Okay.
It's gonna be weird, because it's gonna be an election year.
Yeah.
So, when we're sitting here in January, a big pressure on the legislature and governor to try and get, especially with the education
Yeah.
debate going on.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
Okay. So what we can do is we'll hold our normal 2 September dates, and we'll just be checking our email, and if we have to pull like a late Monday in August for something, we'll just make sure we post in advance for that, but there probably won't be a need for that unless something comes up.
When do you get going on the real budget season?
December.
Well, November, we have a budget meeting with everybody.
Yeah.
Usually it's the second meeting in November, where we'll have the selectmen come in, meet with you all, come up with a letter and send out where things stand, where we think things are gonna be in fiscal 21. Then we send out whatever comedy, I mean, between Sandy and myself, we make sure the budget sheets, right now it's with Sandy, we may be switching software sometime, we'll see. But whatever. But we'll get the budget sheets out to the departments, and usually by the first week of December, we have them come back in by the first week in January, and then it's off to the races where you start reviewing budgets and you can start making decisions on the simple ones, you know, the moderator,
Yeah.
salary isn't gonna change, as an example.
So we can handle reorganization in September then, because if we get any new potential volunteers, so what we'll have to do is divide up who is a liaison to what department. And we'll also have to handle who wants to get sent to wage and personnel.
You're not gonna do that tonight for me. It's fine, I mean, Sandy and I are here, like, people are getting paid, if they they're supposed to get a step increase, they're getting step increases. Because I think legally, even without
Yeah.
having wage and personnel board sign a little slip,
Yeah.
legally, I think we're obliged to provide services, so we're doing that.
Does, I mean, if anyone is particularly dying to go to wage and personnel, we can vote you in tonight. They meet on Thursday nights.
Well, they'll meet whatever night the two people, because Gordon has
Okay.
said he's willing to do it, but he doesn't want to do, he's willing to do the administrative ministerial work that has to be done legally, but he's not interested, well, I won't say not interested, he doesn't have time to do the evaluation, not the, what do we call it?
To study.
the study or,
Reclassification and the regrading and stuff.
you know, obviously he's on the board of selectmen, he's on the 2 school committees, they've got subcommittees. I think he's looking at his calendar saying, look, I'm willing to do this, you know, I'll come in for an hour or 2 once or twice a month,
Yeah.
but I don't have the time outside of the meeting to spend doing that work. So, I'm not saying, but it's just in terms of, making sure the wheels go around and around.
So like, if it doesn't have to be Thursday nights, and we could do it like if we could schedule wage and personnel for 6 p.m. on Monday nights and just handle the admin stuff, I don't mind going back to wage. I stepped off because I know I'm going to have to go on a Thursday night teaching schedule, and since that seemed to be the night we were going to have wage.
But it's up to the people who are on the committee. There's nothing in the bylaw that says
Okay.
the wage personnel needs to meet Thursday any more than the selectmen meet Tuesdays.
Okay.
It's just, that's what they do.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to recommend Melinda for wage and personnel,
You
Mondays
have
at
no
6.
friends, Melinda.
I'm not going to second it
I'll
on
talk-
principle.
If it happens, I'll talk to Gordon.
Okay.
See if 6 on Monday works.
Okay. Well, we have a motion.
That was a joke.
Well, you said it
I
out. You
rescind
said it in
my- I
real
rescind
way.
my motion.
No, it's okay.
Why don't you wait?
Yeah.
Wait till August.
Oh, no, it's September.
Yeah.
September.
I mean, in all honesty, if I can put it like the same day as FinCom or something like that, and not be on a night that I'm teaching, and if we're just gonna handle like step increases and stuff like that, I can handle that. I can't handle all the other stuff either. But if anyone else wants to go on wage, you're more than welcome to tag in now.
Yeah, I mean, a lot could change between now and September too. Let's just table it till then.
I mean, any change for, somebody comes in and wants something that requires a change in the bylaw,
Yeah.
first of all, you can't change the text until next May.
Yeah.
And as far as wage rates are concerned, it would still need to go to town meeting, so.
And everyone will still get their raises and stuff like that. Okay, so if it's okay with you, we'll handle it for reorganization, but if an emergency comes up and we're gonna pull an August meeting anyway, I'll just put it out there that I don't mind doing the quick admin-y stuff. Fair?
Fair.
Okay, cool. Anything else? Alright, I'll entertain a motion at 7:48 PM.
So moved.
Second.
Motion to adjourn. All's in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Have a great summer.
Copious amounts.
You should start a
Thank you very
summer.
much.